What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. It is Friday. It is officially the start of the weekend. And for many of you, you'll be like, oh my God, where's all 2-Bit's hair? And also the people that keep criticizing my sideburns, look, they're gone. All right, you can tell that I've been out with my actual boss today in my 9-to-5 job. So, yeah, no big chops and nice shaved head, looking fresh. Anyway, I hope you're all doing well as always. Appreciate you tuning in. Quite a bit to get into tonight and break down in these markets. Well, I was always popping to listen, but still have no idea what you're talking about. Stick around, you might learn something. The cryptocurrency market. Bitcoin, altcoins. I mean, generally, we just have a bit of a chinwag. It's up to you. But anyway, pretty interesting day in the markets. What happened? Why did the market sell off? Is this the end? I'm sure many of you have seen on YouTube, TikTok, everyone's going, oh, the bear market's here. This is it. 2-Bit was wrong again. We're going to break down why that's not true, and we're going to sort of talk a bit about why I think this is just a normal correction in the market, and I think we're going higher. Well, I mean, I'm not going to know. I can't know we're going higher, but I certainly believe that we have got way more upside potential coming in. So anyway, we're going to break that down. We'll take a look at some altcoins. We've also got some pretty interesting news coming out of the Federal Reserve. I want to talk about Stephen Mirren. If you're not aware who that is, he's obviously the latest appointee to the Federal Open Markets Committee. We want to talk about his interview today, which was super interesting. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button as always. Don't forget, tap the screen and hit that follow button, which will be good news as well. So let's say hello to a few people. If you can, share the stream out. I would really, really appreciate it. It's dead easy. Click on the bottom of the screen and click share and just let people know. We're here to talk about cryptocurrency. We're here to kind of keep people hopefully dialed into this market. And, you know, certainly in a world where, you know, we can try our best to keep everyone sort of rocking and rolling and hyped up and, you know, all that kind of good stuff. So let people know that we are indeed live. Okay, good. Right, 37. Good to see you, says like number one. Let's get it. Craig's in the building. Tim Shea's here as well. Chipper's in the building. Lucky, Ruck. What's going on, pal? Tomato Pete. Foz, Swamp, F. Joe's in the house. What's going on, man? Welcome, 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 welcome. Sean's here. Good to see you. Sean Bates Coin, welcome into you. CJ the DJ, what's going on? Yo, 2-Bit. Even Nobi Joe. Curtis looking fresh in the green. Griff Nash, welcome back, buddy. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. And then welcome into everybody tuning in on TikTok. We appreciate you guys as always. La Familia Madrigal down here. So yeah, we appreciate you guys as always. Redman, good to see you, man. Welcome, Alf's here. Chris Moore, 150 to 180k by the end of the year. Let's go. Hopefully, live now on TikTok and YouTube. By the way, if you want to get into the free Discord, link is in the bio. Also, it's in the description if you are interested. Also, if you want to become a channel member and get access to our premium Discord server, in which FYI, there is an alpha call gone out today. So I don't know if you guys have DYOR'd on that, but take a look at it. Those sort of things you get. Again, you can subscribe here on TikTok. Oh, I nearly knocked you off. I nearly knocked you off TikTok. Don't go away. Or you can become a channel member on YouTube. You get access to all that free Discord stuff. Okay. Nice haircut, 2-Bit. Thanks, mate. Right, let's talk about BTC. Let's talk about what's going on in the markets. Let's talk about, should we be panicking, or is this just a natural selling off event? Now, World of Financial is actually doing pretty well, but yeah, Diz, and unfortunately, there's all kind of pullback. JJ, what's going on, buddy? JJ, you're in the Discord premium group. There is an alpha call in there, bud. I don't know if you've seen it. Again, DYO, I'm not telling you it's going to go to the freaking moon. I'm just giving you a little bit of alpha, but check it out. Anyway, yoop. Let's get you around here looking at the price on BTC. So here we go then. A pretty interesting sell-off on today's markets. Now, the question is obviously why? Why did the markets sell off? Interestingly enough, by the way, just, and I don't know kind of if anyone, well, I say, you know, I don't know if anyone's in there, but anyway, if you're in the premium market or you're in the premium channel, you have noticed that we actually put out a bearish bias short term, likely to retest 116 to 115, 500 support zone, given selling momentum. RSI oversold, volume strong. And look at this. We literally pretty much hit that bang on the money. So again, if anyone took that short trade, well done. That is what you get when you're in the premium Discord. Again, become a channel member. You can get access to that. Worth it. Okay. So Bitcoin did sell off. We can see this a little bit better here on the 12-hour chart, which again came in on the back of those tops. Now, it's important to reference when this selling actually started. And again, we can open it up to kind of get a bit of a view as to what you guys think. But generally about 1 o'clock in the morning for me, we started to sell off on BTC as well as the wider altcoin market. Now, there is two trains of thought here. You say, well, maybe this is it. Maybe we're all done, and this is kind of the end of the Bitcoin bull market. That's possible. But then you scroll down here and you see the S&P 500 once again rallied to a brand new all-time high. You see the NASDAQ, after a pretty sharp decline, is now starting to pump back up, as well as the DXY holding up pretty well. So what does this tell us? Gold printing as well. Well, it tells us that this is specific to risk assets, okay? It's specific to Bitcoin. It's specific to the altcoin market as well. So this kind of should give us a little bit of confidence. Not that it's good, by the way. Not that I'm saying this is like, oh, great stuff we're selling off, because no one wants to see actual selling off in the market because it's just a bit of a pain in the ass. However, the reality is that we've got a couple of key levels that we need to kind of watch out for, and a couple of key levels that kind of started to play out more importantly. Now, could we see a retest of the 112? I don't think so, but this would be the ultimate bearish case, you know, a big support line here. We're absolutely more likely to see, and we touched on this yesterday, by the way, but you take the Fibonacci and you head down, we're way more likely to see this kind of retest of around 114,000, which is, again, a little bit like we put in the Discord Alpha group, again, what that could look like. But the difference here is that history tells us whenever we see a bit of selling pressure coming on a weekend, or particularly into a Friday, we tend to then come out the weekend a little bit stronger. So, for example, let me show you this. This was last weekend. You can see here we sold off into the weekend before then starting to push higher. Go back again. We sold off into the weekend and then we started to go higher, come back a little bit further. We sold off into the weekend, here, and then we kind of push a little bit higher. So generally speaking, again, here's a sell-off on this one before we pushed higher. A sell-off into a weekend isn't necessarily a bad thing. Again, I just want to stress the point here that no one really wants to see loads of selling off. However, it isn't the end of the world when you look at the macro statement that's coming into the markets. So again, this is kind of fine. Equally, if you take short term where we are and you start to look at some of these key levels, yes, we just broke under this support line, which is a 115.7. That's kind of where I want to see us close on the day. We could come even lower to 114.800 and retest this lower range here. That wouldn't be out of the ordinary, but given that markets are closed, I'm not sure we're going to see this level. And I'll show you why I don't think we're going to see this level. And I'm hopefully going to give you some confidence as to exactly what this particular selling off is. Because if we know what it is, then we can act accordingly dependent on market and data. Now, think about this. MACD RSI trending down slightly on the 12-hour chart as well. But for me, this is okay. Now, again, I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination that selling off is great and it never feels particularly great. But when you look at it as a macro sentiment, I think it's fine. So these are a couple of key levels we're watching out. Obviously, we'll have the full report coming for the weekend because I don't stream tomorrow night. So the full weekend breakdown will be in the premium Discord later on. Check it out. But this, for me, is fine. But it's still within the range that we've been talking about on the 12-hour. Go to the daily candle. You can see exactly the same sort of thing playing out pretty obviously. Once again, we could come as low to retest this low range of around 114.6. Okay, so that's kind of fine, right? I'm not going to lose much sleep over it. We get the total market. Again, you can see this push down here, 3.95 trillion, strong level of support, which is where we hit. And then we've started to bounce back. So again, that would be sort of where we look like as an overall picture that comes in. So I guess straight off the bat, why did we see some selling off? And I want to just touch on it a little bit later on. However, the reality is that we saw some selling off, and in particular, we saw it selling off in Japan. Okay, so we actually saw ETF selling, which is pretty interesting. The Bank of Japan spooked markets Friday by announcing it's going to begin unwinding its $250 billion in exchange-traded funds and Japanese real estate trusts assets accumulated since 2010 as part of its ultra-loose monetary policy. Like, all of a sudden, markets were like, what do you mean? Oh, whoa. Japan must be going to a recession. Must be going to a recession. Quick, sell risk assets. It's a disaster. Oh, no, because when you look at some of the macro stuff, this is my opinion, by the way. I think we're going to see a very strong pivot from Japan, and it's going to be pretty interesting as it plays out. Now, we could go through the altcoin market. It's down. That's the reality of it. We could play around and say, well, it's going to come back up. I don't think there's much point. All right, we sold off today. All right, let's not stress it. ETH down about 3%. Solana, albeit still down 4.5 on the day, still... The hell was that? Still looking pretty strong on the overall chart. So again, I'm not too worried about Solana. BNB actually held up pretty well today. This is breaking out. XRP holding just under the $3 mark. Zebek down 7. Aerodrome took in a little bit of hit. But again, still looking pretty optimistic against some of this range. What we've got, AVAX did sell off, still above what I was talking about the other day. Again, that price target still in play. Will the Bit Financial had a better day, but again, did dump on the back end of it, which tells you that, look, this is just kind of market sentiment that it's just pushing down. Overall meme sector getting a bit of a hit as well. But like we said, S&P 500 and gold both rallying on the day. This should tell you exactly what happened. People are going, right, let's get out of risk assets a little bit. And the all-important treasury yields, 30-year treasury up 0.4. The 10-year is up 0.4. So again, when you look at this at a macro standpoint, you just say, well, the reality is people just don't want to be in risk assets right now, which in my opinion is totally fine. Okay, don't be in risk assets. That's fine. Go into these treasury yields. We'll see that. If you look or you track the yield curve, it did actually tick up a little bit. But we'll talk about Stephen Mirren's interview today, and he was on CNBC. Really interesting guy. I've actually got a video coming out about it later on, so if you want to see that. But he took a very good stance when it comes to monetary policy, expectations, and then all the rest of it. So we'll sort of break that down a little bit. But overall, it's fine. Now, let me give you some confidence as to where I think the market is going to go. And I know many people may be a little bit uncomfortable. What's going on TikTok? I know many people may be a little bit uncomfortable, but here's something interesting. Just in, the Pi Cycle top indicator showing that Bitcoin may top out above $194,500. Hopefully that is the case, by the way. But again, this aligns to the fact that pretty much every top indicator has not flashed at all. So you can either get into a world of saying, well, I think it's because the market's going to dump and that this is potentially going to be a very pants bull market, or we just need to wait a bit longer. By the way, I'm in the latter where we have to wait a little bit longer. So I'm just drinking my tea, by the way, TikTok. I hope you didn't hear that when I was doing it. What's going on, Bits Plays? So yeah, who cares about Pi? I mean, that's true. That's true. How do you see ETH? Yeah, pretty bullish in fairness. We might have to wait a little bit longer for that $5,000 retest, but yeah, still pretty optimistic about where ETH is. Think about it this way. And sometimes people get so overcooked when it comes to market sell-offs. They're like, okay, ETH's still trading at 4,450. That's absolutely fine. Like, I'm literally not stressing that at all. So I think ETH's in a good place, by the way. And I think the general market is. It's fine. Yeah, we're selling off. All right, cool. It's definitely not as bad as we've been. Don't forget, 3 days ago before the Federal Reserve came in, we actually wicked all the way down. And ETH particularly, 43.78. No, that's fine. Pi Cycle top, though, looking pretty optimistic. Now, we did get some more bullish news today as well, which is obviously Grayscale's GDLC officially now launching as an ETF. This is important. Now, this was obviously a big cap altcoin fund, now obviously moving to a ETF. And obviously it holds Bitcoin, Ethereum, it holds Solana, XRP, and Cardano. Okay, so good news. This is now officially trading. We haven't really got too much in terms of the data right now, but we will give you that as it comes through as well. But again, good news. Finally, we're starting to see this kind of pivot. And I actually thought we might have got some more ETF listings today. We didn't get as many as I thought we would have done, but I did think we were going to get some anyway. Anyway, Chainlink, yeah, we talked about that Chainlink is coming as well. How much it could dump? Look, it could go a little bit further yet. We just said, 115, what do we say on BTC, by the way? Yeah, 114.7. So you might get a little bit more pain yet. But yeah. Can say take over SUI? I would need it. Why is the stock green but crypto is tanking? Because people are getting out of risk assets. Understand it. People see stocks as a slightly better, less risk on a particular asset. Excuse me. But that doesn't necessarily mean that is how it's going to play out. By the way, if you do want to get full access to our trade signals, alpha calls, and everything else, you can subscribe here on TikTok, or you can become a channel member on YouTube as well. It's cost you a few bucks a month. We also put alpha calls out there on tokens that we think are going to be pretty good. So again, not financial advice, but if you want to take a look at it, then highly recommend it. Okay. So ETF news, good news. Okay, here we go. Bullish cross, just like last time. Next up, all-time high. Bitcoin on the 1 day. And again, this is where it's kind of worth thinking about the macro sentiment. I don't like this statement, by the way, when it's if in doubt, zoom out. But the reality is that it's probably worthwhile. The last time we actually saw a strong cross on the MACD RSI trend, we saw a nice little move to the upside, particularly on the 1 day. Is this going to print the same way? Are we going to see the same thing? Maybe. Just looked at the call, looks like it did well. Yeah, JJ, bullish. Let me tell you that the trade signal call was great. We nailed it, bro. Honestly, check it out. Absolutely nailed it. The only one that, well, I say the only one we didn't. Obviously the Pepe TA in there was pretty interesting. And I still think, actually, when you look at that, someone asked me about what an entry point is on Pepe. Just take a look at that. Talks about where it is. But yeah, this could play out pretty much favorably if the market comes with us. Okay, important to think about, right? Also, a lot of people are predicting that this downside falling wedge pattern could present us a move to the upside. Again, pretty much kind of what we've been talking about, this 115.5, again, we called it in the alpha group, this one kind of 15.2 range, which is kind of where we are. Now, if we see continuation selling off, then we might see a little bit more pain, okay? That's just reality. We could come down. Would a retest of the 112.5 be bad? Probably not. But, I mean, look, no one wants to see it. And I don't necessarily subscribe to the last dump before the pump. Let's just, let's just pump to oblivion, all right? Let's just get on with it. But, look, the reality is, therefore, we could, and it wouldn't be out of the ordinary to kind of come back down this level. For me, it's going to be important to see how the weekend does, which are generally flat. But look, we'll see. Can entry to API 3 now? I don't have that chart, but remind me and we'll take a look at it in the DeFi section in about 15 minutes. So stick around, remind me, and we'll take a look at it for you. So yeah, could actually play out on this falling wedge. Again, let me know, guys. What do you guys think? We're going to see this minor move over the weekend. Do you think it's bearish weekend? I'm curious what you guys think. But I think what's interesting to note here, although we didn't get a lot of ETF listings, we did get a number of companies yet again announcing acquisitions of significant amounts of Bitcoin. NASDAQ listed Zooz Power, ZOOZ, approved plan to buy $180 million of Bitcoin for its treasury. We actually saw Metaplanet as well buying some more Bitcoin today. So yeah, pretty interesting. 95% of the proceeds are going to be going directly to BTC. So again, pretty interesting as this one is playing out as more and more people want to buy Bitcoin. Well, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's let them buy more Bitcoin, people. Good news. What's your thoughts on Injective? I'm probably pretty indifferent on it, to be honest. I mean, I feel like it was good a while back. Not so sure that it's in the same category right now. We'll see. Bear weekend, then bring on the money bags. Hopefully, Manuel. I mean, I'm down for it. I'm down for it. I appreciate the follow, Mark. Simon, thank you so much, everybody. Hey, if you're brand new around here, don't forget we talk about cryptocurrency every single day, keeping you hopefully dialed into the market. Nothing ever in this channel, though, is, however, financial advice. We just try and, keep you guys dialed in. So do me a quick favor. If you could tap the screen, that massively helps the algo. And likewise, if you're on YouTube as well, smash up that thumb button. That would be great. Tomato says the Bingley Mega Chippy by Bingley Mega Chippy. I heard someone ask which altcoins gives a 3x from today. Sol, Sui, or AVAX. AVAX, yeah, definitely. 10x, baby. Sean says 2-bit K right now. ADA or Link. Someone starting from 0. I would say Link is probably more. I think you'd be 65% that was going to be a good investment into Chainlink. ADA is the potential bigger move, though. But, I mean, look, Chainlink, I think, is going to do pretty well. I mean, where are we at right now in Chainlink? 23.41. It's kind of coming down a little bit from that kind of recent move of 27.86. But, yeah, I mean, Chainlink doesn't look like a bad place right now. Could it come a little bit lower? Retest 22? Maybe. But, again, the important bit is go in at 250, 250, 250, 250. DCA into that mother trucker. That's the important bit to think about. Okay. The Bingley Mega Chip is my local chip shop and comedy performance. Really? Bingley Mega Chippy. Crazy. Shout out to you, Shoesmith, though. Vern's in the house. What's going on, Vern? What's going on? So, yeah. Anyway, right. Let's get into a little bit of news, and then we'll get into kind of anything you guys want to talk about and anything you guys want to discuss. So, Coinbase Base Layer 2 explores native token issuance. Now, loads of people, again, I think I talked about this yesterday, by the way, that there is a debate that if you are a staker of Aerodrome, then you may get the native base token. That is not confirmed yet. I will try and make sure that I find the answer to that. But the exploration could subsequently impact Base's ecosystem, potentially boosting development and user agreements while reflecting a strategic shift in Coinbase's approach to decentralization, right? Good. Which I think is going to be important, right? And we'll see. How long are you expecting Sui? Yeah, well, look, I got into Sui at 279. I think Sui's going to be fine, by the way. I think that ecosystem's pretty good as well. Which would be good. Which would be good in my opinion. So yeah. But Base token a shift towards decentralization and growth. Base feels like it's getting a bit of a rally right now. So again, keep your eyes out for it. Now, let's talk a little bit about Stephen Mirren and what he said today, because actually there was some pretty interesting stuff and some pretty interesting monetary policy. Now, he said specifically that he will have his own opinion. He will make decisions based on the data that he sees and will not be influenced by President Trump or anyone else, right? But he actually had some pretty interesting debates, particularly around monetary policy and why he thinks the second half of the year is going to be more bullish than the first. Now, think about this, right? His view on the first part of the year was that there was tariff uncertainty, that there was a view that they weren't going to be a one-off fee. They were going to be maybe transitory into kind of monetary policy, therefore affecting a little bit more in terms of the actual cost of goods or particularly the export-import decisions. So very interesting discussion. However, his view, by the way, was that that wasn't going to be the case. And in fact, given the inflows of money coming in from the tariffs, as well as data that's suggesting that markets are starting to come back a little bit, his view is the second half of the year is going to be way more bullish. Now, if the second half of the year is more bullish, this should play out very, very favorable. Their view, by the way, is that they should see a big reduction in rates and that he was certainly going to be in a place. If you're not sure who he is, by the way, this is Stephen Merrin. He actually was a dissenter when it came to the Federal Reserve cuts, opting for a 50 basis points cut rather than a 25 basis points cut. So again, very interesting interview. I definitely highly recommend you watching the video I'm going to put out a little bit later, but he was very, very optimistic about rate cuts, very optimistic about the market, very optimistic while you have stocks and shares significantly rallying, that 50 basis points cut should have been where they went. And here's what he said, quote, his view will now start to play out ahead of the October meeting. So he's going to push for 50 basis points in October, which could be pretty good news. There was some unwinding, though, of that decision-making, which is why we've seen, again, a little bit of a sell-off in the markets, particularly on risk assets. People are a little bit like, we'll see. But yeah, interesting. What's new? Is there anything I'm missing? Nash? Not really. Not really. Japan kind of dumped the market a little bit. But yeah, hey, 3,000 XRP holding good? Yeah, I think that's okay, yeah. I don't think that's a bad decision at all. 92K incoming. Jay, no, get out of here. Sean, what's going on? Hope you had a nice day off, bro. I'm kidding, man. I'm kidding. Yeah, 3,000 XRP is fine. Yeah. Look, it's better than none, isn't it? That's my view anyway. How are you, boss? Yeah. Tyler, I'm good, mate. Thank you so much. Yeah, Danielle in the building. What's going on? Welcome to you. 92K. I mean, I think you're crazy that you think BTC is going to go to 92K. And I would ask you the question, why do you think it's going to go to 92K? It's not even entertaining a chart. I mean, that is a big old dipperino. I mean, Jesus Christ, you're talking like 20%. Now, what is worth noting here, right? Japan is definitely a bit hawkish right now. What is worth noting, I think, on let's go on Fairground. What I think is worth noting, by the way, is that yes, we definitely saw a little bit of selling off. There was one key thing that happened today that we haven't seen now for the last couple of days. Bear in mind, yesterday, nice little move on ETFs. Today, we'll obviously see that data come in. But look at this. BlackRock didn't buy today. Interesting. Now, I'm not saying that was a thing, but we have seen this before. And if you remember from this channel, we've been talking and tracking this. And what we generally know is that when BlackRock stops buying, it's for a very good reason. It is also fair to say that when they stop buying, that they don't generally start by selling again. What they do, however, is generally coming pretty aggressive, i.e., for example, they stopped buying back here in 23rd of April. We saw a little bit of selling off in the middle. Then we stopped again. And then kaboom, we actually saw a nice move up with nearly $154 million on a particular day. We then saw them stop buying in August, late August, pretty quiet throughout that, and then rallied up to the biggest day ever for that share. Pretty interesting. And then more recently, obviously, we saw that little bit of no buying back here in June. So again, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, by the way. Hey, Andy, what's going on, pal? I don't actually think it's the worst thing in the world. The question will be, well, the two questions are, why have they stopped buying? And what does that look like when they come back into the market? Now, is this anything to do with it? The fact that BTC in September is at 6.68% up. It's probably a little bit less, probably about 5.5% right now. But again, still good, still green, still bullish, okay? Important to think about it as that plays through. And I think this, again, aligns to Stephen Mirren's view of what that looks like. And again, a couple of key things to think about. He said this, signaling a shift towards easing monetary policy amid weakening labor market data. The US markets reacted with mixed signals and the dollar weakened. Reactions varied, with some financial experts expressing support for Mirren's call for a deeper cut. So there's a bit of a reality here that, look, we expect further cuts. Again, though, we've talked about this before. It's not necessarily about cuts. We need printing and we need good jobs data and everything else to kind of hold in. But yeah, anyway, good news, right? In my opinion, good news. Where is the 92K bearish opinion coming from? No idea, Matt. No idea. I think some people just like to kind of spout nonsense, if I'm totally honest. Now, I mean, they could be right, but I don't think they are. Is there any good news about XRP? Yeah, of course there is. XRP was launched yesterday with the Rex Osprey one. Did about $24 million in volume. Pretty good. Also today, GDLC converted from a fund into an ETF, which has XRP in it as well. So now, worth noting, by the way, if anyone is not tracking it, obviously I am because it's me. 24.67 on the Rex Osprey ETF. Actually, a pretty big sell-off. Again, is it the big thing in the world? No, right? I'm not stressing this. We came in with, about $500,000 worth of volume. So a little bit down, really. But again, I'm not too particularly concerned about this. It's exactly what happened with Hashdex. It's exactly what happened with Bitcoin. It's exactly what happened with anything, right? It's pretty much exactly how it is. So Bitcoin ain't going down. Fairground knows it's up. The lowest I see is 106. A lot of liquidity there and also some smart money buys. Yeah, I think so as well. Whose side of winning is that one? Yeah, let's do one time. Ricky, one time. We'll get there. We'll get there, bro. I think so. Why is the market down? Japan. And I generally mean that. Japan is unwinding their ETFs as well as potential risk assets, which people are like freaking out because they think Japan's going to sell off and it's going to go into a recession. So yeah, anyway, so that's kind of where we sit with that. Now, the US shut down. Also, I don't know if you've seen this, Chuck Schumer putting some sort of crazy proposal through into the markets. People freaking out again. We saw this happen before when there was this concern that Congress was going to close down and the US government was going to go to zero and all the rest of it. But the US shutdown risk rise impacting crypto markets and inflationary outcomes. Everyone's like, holy shit, we go into an absolute chaos. Bitcoin shows increased volatility with economic uncertainties. Understand that that is a thing that's driving this. So you've got Japan that's like, we're going to just kind of de-risk a little bit. And everyone's going, whoa, holy shit, what Japan's de-risking? And then they're obviously going, oh, and what, the US government might shut down? It's 56% likely. Okay, get out of here. It's not going to happen. So people kind of freaking out. But yeah, Democrats will not back down from essentially healthcare protections. Okay, I'm not making this political. I'm clearly stating a fact. That was coming from Chuck Schumer, Senate Majority Leader, saying that this bipartisan bill that supports American families, we are prepared to let the funding deadline pass. People freaking out about kind of trying to get monetary policy through. Yeah. Sideways until October, I'm saying. Interesting, calamari. What's going on, bud? Swings and roundabouts, mate. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, worth noting here, and I'm sure Craig is well dialed into this, but the Bank of Japan maintained its rates. So they kept where they were. We touched on this yesterday. Long as it didn't go up, it was going to be fine. Yes, we saw some selling off, but the decision echoes typical FX market volatility through immediate impact on cryptocurrencies, okay? So, would it have been better if they'd have cut, maybe, and gone back to 25 basis points? It's just not the end of the world, is it? But the governor, Kazu Ueda, decided not to alter the current rates and reported the decision making it an expected move. Observers noted the immediate impact on the USD JPY, seeing a sharp increase soon after the announcement. No one panicked. Everyone was like, oh, yeah, this is fine. Okay, this is fine. Like I said, that then unwound a little bit in the fact that the Japan's Nikkei dropped over 1% on the news that they were going to be unwinding their ETFs. $2.2 billion worth of ETFs, okay? So the reality is that this is kind of, it's just part of them managing their monetary policy and managing their economy. There's not really anything in it. And this is just we are going to potentially do it. They aren't actually doing it yet. And they're obviously not at any sort of crazy rates and all the rest of it. But you can see this. Under the plan, the central bank will sell ETFs with a book value of 330 billion yen annually, equivalent to around 620 billion at market prices. BOJ Governor Kazuo Ueda stressed the pace would be deliberately slow, and noting it would take more than a century to fully dispose of the holdings. Okay, so you've got the Federal Reserve removing its balance sheet, easing risk, debt, all the rest of it. Japan's doing the same. What people do, though, this is how it kind of played out. They're like, oh, should we just sell a little bit? It's like having loads of stuff that you never use anymore, isn't it? But you pay rent on it. It's like having a storage zone where your kids have all grown up, but you still hold on to their toys because you might need them at some point. And then you eventually go, well, let's just get rid of the toys. And then the kids go, whoa, whoa, what do you mean? What do you mean get rid of the toys? Holy, no, I still play with that. You're like, you're fucking 35. What are you talking about? You don't play with that. So this is kind of a little bit what it is, all right? That's about as basic of an analogy as I could possibly get. People freaked out about it. No reason. Especially, obviously, if you've got people that are in it. So what you've seen, though, and bear in mind here, that with this Bank of Japan ETFs that they've got, they could absolutely be moving into treasuries. Why? Because you can go and get 4.7% on a 30-year treasury. Okay, well, that's cool. I'll go and do that. Versus maybe holding an ETF that's maybe not bringing back the number that they want. So again, that's kind of why we saw that. Again, I don't think it's the biggest deal in the world, but worth noting, I think. Jake's right. It's all going to 0x. Happy 100K. Let's hope so, Curtis. Let's hope so. 2bit 420 is with Lauren. Holy shit balls. Are you actually, or is it just, can anyone prove it? Is there photographic evidence that that's true? I don't believe it until I've seen that. Because anyone could type it, you know, anyone could be like that. Look, for example, like that, look, you see. Vern coming in fresh with the whatever they are, little bees, I think. Is he really Fairground? Love it. I love it. That's class. That is class. Bit sensor, bro. Yeah, remind me. 5 minutes, we'll be looking at the DeFi section, so stick around for it. Right, in some more positive news, which also is good. Look at this. The date is now set for FTX to distribute its $1.6 billion to creditors. September the 30th, 12 days. Stick it in your diary. $1.6 billion heading to the market. I mean, who the hell knows what's happened to the other $7 billion that's meant to have hit the markets, but still. Worth noting that, yeah, FTX will announce the last, I believe, of its $1.6 billion to creditors. Good news, all right? Good news. I said the same thing to my mum, my brother being in the house for 30 years, and she still won't get Oh, dear. I mean, that's true, Tim, yeah. Oh, house in the building said I found Pecco, no clue much about it. We'll take a look at the DeFi section if you want. Don't know how he got in, Common Fish Bar. Maybe Fairground, gotta be careful. Anyway, love it. Titanic-sized waterfront apartments are a bit concerning. Yeah, I could get that. Caroline is filing my toenails at the moment. Camera's not working. Yeah, get out of here. All right, good. Okay, and then obviously we have the FTX numbers. So, look, overall, yes, you could take a look at this as a holistic view and go, oh, man, I'm so annoyed. The market's a complete load of crap and I should have sold the top. And if you believe all the people that tell us we're going to fucking zero, then, you know, my view here is that we will... that they will all be disappointed. And I'm sure loads of them are jumping on saying the market's going to zero. But look, we're down 1.4%. It's just not a big deal. Again, what I'd like to see is push back above this range here, around about 115, 116. It's $500. That's not a lot to get back up there. And like I said, hopefully we can start to see this print back. Now, what I would say, obviously, since your boy went live, then BTC is moving up as well. I'll send you proof to it, but only you on X. Okay. I mean, you can get a live reaction to that. Don't send out weird, though, right? Don't send anything weird, or I will show it. I don't need some, like, little, you know, what do they call it? Public display of affection. I don't need any PDA, like, oh, look, it's me at the port. I don't need that. I don't need that, right? I don't need that. Anyway, I promise I won't show it. So, yeah, anyway, since your boy went live, obviously the markets are rallying a little bit, which is good. Cheese says, is Pepe given another chance? Again, my view is that definitely could be. Definitely could be. Again, if you're in the Discord, then you would see my technical breakdown of what I think is happening with Pepe. But yeah, I think we could be in for a decent move. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to the 2bit Crypto Meme channel, go and check it out. There's a full video breaking that down as well over there as well. So yeah, which is good. Right. Clemens Gassinger says AB coin. I have no idea what that is. But remind me in about 2 minutes and we'll take a look at it. You have to pay... Now my phone has just pinged and it says you have got a message on X. Let's go and have a look. Let's go and have a look. Ricky one time. Cheer up, there's a timeline. I'll expect. Oh, it's from hey, massive choppers. I love it. That is a weird picture, but I love it. I love it. Everyone give him a round of applause. I will officially confirm there's 2 people in that picture. Good news, right? Good news. Crypto Bubble 114 number. Ah, Crypto Bubbles, man. I really never look at Crypto Bubbles anyway, but let's take a look. Let's take a look. Crypto Bubbles 1. What's it called? Paying for the prep. Yeah, so am I, Calamari. Yeah, so am I, bro. I want to see it. I want to see it. Yeah, why is the stock green today, but crypto is cooked? My long is cooked. The reality is, and I think I've said this now 4 times, Japan spooked the markets. They are going to ease off on their ETFs and their housing and real estate numbers, okay? So they're like, everyone's going to now start freaking out, thinking Japan's going to go into a recession, right? It's not. What do you think of Matic? I've been neutral to disappointed. I think it's fair to say that. But, I mean, it's down, what, 4.8% of the day. They've got some crazy stuff being built over there as well, like crazy stuff being built over there. So yeah, could totally reverse. I'll have a better idea about that on Sunday. So tune in. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. What do you think about ASTAR? Or do you mean as in, is this the new Binance thing that everyone seems to be talking about? I was gonna do a bit of a show on that on Sunday and break it down. I don't honestly know, but I mean it's up 20%. It's up 20% right now. I hear loads of people talking about it. I've seen loads of people loads of people promoting it on YouTube, etc. Honestly, I don't know much about it personally. In fact, let's do it now. Let's officially take a look at what it is and why people are so bullish on it. Decentralized perpetual contracts. Non-custodial trading built for all weather year. Okay, fine. So it's got $519 billion, 2 million users. I just don't know what it is. It's a perp dex, right? I mean, this is like the new hot narrative right now, perp dex, but hidden orders let you place limit orders and stay fully hidden from public order book. Oh, okay, I see what it is. It's like a secret trading platform. Fine. I know CZ's talked about it. I know that I think it's got some backing by Binance, right? I mean, I don't know if it's the craziest thing in the world, but yeah, I mean, people are pretty bullish on it. What's it doing? 537 million. It's at $1.26 billion. When did it launch, by the way? It launched 17th. All right, launched 2 days ago. Fine. Binance-based Asta pumps while crypto market is done. Yeah, I mean, look, there's loads of perp decks coming out. Loads of them, actually. People have tried to do it for a long time and really not suffer it. Maybe it's a good thing, maybe not. I mean, think about this, though. As regulation hits, they're not going to be in a world of like, oh, yeah, you can secretly do it. I guess it's kind of a middle finger up to exchanges, which maybe not in the worst thing in the world, but yeah, maybe that's right. Hey, a bit sorry for being late. Was with my insurance. Just bad news piles up. Oh, bro, that's not good news. Don't worry. It's going to be fine. No, Japan coin ASTR. Oh, ASTR. Man, I don't even know what that is. Okay. ASTAR, do you mean? 246 on coin market cap. Down 91%. Yeah, probably wouldn't touch this with a barge pole, mate, if I'm honest. That's just my opinion. Again, if it's got some sort of crazy utility, then fine. But anything that's 92.93% down from all-time high and is now down 4% on market cap and doing 9 million volume, it's probably not something I would look at, personally. The new shiny coins, when did it launch? Yeah, back in 2022? Nah, not for me. Not for me. This is my thing, by the way. We've been talking about this for a while. I just don't believe the 2021, 2022 revitalization of like some super hyped over coins. I just don't think it works, personally. Don't think it works. I'd say the same with Arbitrum as well, if that's what you're referring to. Arbitrum is just a big DAO coin doing nothing right now. It was good when the hype was in, when everyone was going crazy for layer 2s. Arbitrum, yeah, we were in it. We got in at like 80 cents, sold at like $1.06, whatever it was. And haven't gone back into it. And I don't know what it offers. Now you could argue maybe it gets a bit more bullish on the back of Coinbase doing something. And I guess ETH layer 2, obviously the ETH upgrade, another ETH upgrade goes live soon. I just don't know what it's going to do. That's my opinion. So yeah, not in the world of where I'd be bothered with it, to be honest. I did pick up some XCL today. Nice. Yeah, I still haven't got any, but I probably will get some. I'm probably in that place where I think it'd be worthwhile a little bit. But let me tell you my strategy. Should I tell you my strategy or should I tell you in the Discord? My view will be, let's say I've got $1,000 I want to invest, I'll probably do 500 in the pre-sale, 500 at launch, just so I can hedge my bets. Generally speaking, this is an absolute generalization, by the way, but pre-sales tend to see selling off relatively early over launch, especially big pre-sales. So could give you an opportunity to get in on the flip side of it. Tears for Jupiter. Do you mean the coin or do you mean the song? I mean, Jupiter's at 52. I think that's fine, by the way. Their lending protocol's starting to move as well. Mike Allen says, just learn to increase your stock's crypto by trading with his server. Then hop on price fluctuation, increase your holding. That's for me. I've been working with Zbit. Who the hell is Zbit Crypto, Michael Adams? Who is Zbit Crypto? Tomato Pete's on it. Who the hell is Zbit Crypto? I wouldn't listen to him. He sounds like an absolute chopper. If so, I would like you to look at BOMO Bubble Map. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I can take a look at that. Shib on Base just launched on Coinbase, bro. Did it? Nice. Nice. Northern, have you told me about that before? I feel like you've messaged me about that before. I feel like that was doing really well, actually. We'll look at that in the DeFi section in just a minute. Any thoughts on Quant? Yeah, I've talked about this before. I think Quant will just grind up. It's below $100, and I always said Quant below 100 was a relatively solid investment. I'm not saying that now, but I do think Quant will just kind of grind. Where I would get to is it's not going to be the craziest coin in the world. Do I see Coin doing $1,000? No. But if you trade the volatility within it, it might not be a bad thing. So, you know, the lower range at what, $60, upper range all the way up at like 130, 140. You know, I mean, you could do it. You could do it pretty well, but last month we purchased Cubic, sold on Monday. Nice, bro. Nice. I asked you if you understood bubble mats. Oh, yeah. Are you live every day? Every day except Saturdays, yeah. I live stream every single day except Saturdays. So 6 days a week, I'm live on here and on YouTube. And then we have a Discord channel, link in the bio, by the way. It's a free Discord, but we do put out every single day trade alerts and chart analysis to allow you to kind of, you know, see what's going on in the markets. Never financial advice. We also put any alpha calls, so coins that we think are going to be worthwhile looking at. It's not a magic playbook. It's not 100% guaranteed. These are just things that, you know, I'm looking at or that I've connected with teams that we think is worthwhile. And we're building it out, by the way. You can get that by subscribing here on TikTok or becoming a channel member on YouTube. It's going to cost you about, I think it's about $8. It's probably not even that. It's like $7 or something like that. Definitely worth it. Get in early. I think it's worth it. Anyway, what do you think about Cubic trying to achieve the first AGI? Don't know, if I'm honest. Don't know. And don't forget about our new show. Yeah, don't forget, we're live every Wednesday as well with the one and only Mr. Crypto Vern. Getting the markets down and listening to Vern. Thank you for being a friend. Love it. Right. Okay. Man, I've got so many windows open. Let's close some of these windows down. And look at a little bit of DeFi because we haven't looked at a lot of DeFi. Don't forget, everybody, by the way, do me a favor, quick smash up the like button to bring you all time high. If you haven't subscribed, then I highly recommend subscribing to the channel as well. It is definitely worth your freaking time. Okay. What were people asking me to look at from a DeFi perspective? Dudley, thank you for the roses. You absolute legend. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate it. Free advice if you're new to crypto. If you get a text from an exchange, don't open it. Yeah, if you get a text from me, don't open it because it's not me. If anyone messages you saying, oh, hey, did you enjoy the live stream tonight? It's not me. I don't message anyone. The simple way, if you want to get hold of me, go into the Discord, look for the 2-bit crypto with a red name. That's me. All right. That's me. And just give you some protection, by the way, we vet every single individual that's going to go into our Discord. So hopefully we don't have loads of chopper scammers in there. That's what we don't need. So, right. Good. DeFi plays. What have we got going on over here? Not a lot, really. Not a lot. How's your crypto portfolio? All right. There's at least 52 bits on TikTok. There's a lot. I was looking at it on the show with Vern the other night, but yeah, as well. Basically, we should sell it all before we have to move back. Imagine. Yeah. You know that crypto stuff I went in? Yeah, it just all kind of went wrong. What's going on, D1? Legend. Like Coinbase saying your account is suspended. Yeah, just don't click on it. If it's an email about cryptocurrency asking you with a link, don't click it. Always just go into your account, go and see what's going on, but do it through the proper way, right? Do it through the proper way. Not just like click a random link on an email because that's definitely not a good idea. Definitely not a good idea. Okay. So what have we got going on here? Not a lot. OVPP, I know a couple of people talking about that. $79 million market cap right now. A little bit of a sellerina on this. I think someone was talking about this. Again, a big dump. Did it hold off? Maybe. It's got some decent volume. What I would argue is, why did it see a big sell-off? Look at some of these. Look at some of these sell-offs right now. And this way you got to look at it and be like, holy crap, that made 5 G's, that wallet. What? Understand why some of these people are selling off. Is it worth getting into? I don't know. I've only got the message every night, mate. I've just got, yeah, I mean, the best thing to do, by the way, is just turn the ability for people to message you off. That's kind of my view. And then you don't get, you just don't get lots of people being like, oh, hey, how'd you enjoy the live stream? It was great. Anyway, is it a good play? I mean, I own too much to abandon ship. What's this? On this OY Open VPP thing? I mean, I kind of liked it. I actually called it way before it ran up to this. I mean, like here somewhere. I can't remember what it was at. I think it was like, I think it was, might even be under 10 cents. But yeah, I mean, it had a good momentum. The problem you've got with anything, and this is going to sound bad, by the way, but I think anything that tries to solve a problem that we can't solve without cryptocurrency probably isn't going to do well. If you're going to try and solve the energy problems and go green using cryptocurrency, it's just not going to work, right? Let's just be dead honest. It's not going to work. Doesn't mean that we shouldn't try. Doesn't mean that there isn't an opportunity, but it just is unlikely to truly play out. Because you'd think, well, why would all of a sudden an energy company be like, oh, well, let's go and get this DeFi project I've got to get a MetaMask wallet for and buy it there and da-da-da-da-da. So I think, yeah, I think it's not really worth it. Now, did someone ask about BitTensor? Oh, it's Tau, isn't it? T-A-O. Oops. Someone was asking about that, wasn't there? Oh, man, have I not got it on here? I thought it was T-A-O. Am I just absolutely having a meltdown right now? Maybe I am. Maybe I am. We can do it here, actually. Here we go. $3.4 billion market cap. Here's my view on it, by the way, just to give you a view. And I think I kind of touched on this before, but I mean, it's up crazy. It's a massive price point, though. So it's like, you know, you're going to have to put so much in it and hope that it does some pretty epic moves in order for you to kind of get anywhere near returning a decent amount. That's the problem, isn't it? That's the problem with something like this, is my view, by the way, which is why I'm a bit like, well, move on. There'll be other coins that are coming in. I don't actually think it's a bad coin, by the way, and we definitely touched on it before, but is it going to be super crazy? Don't know. Don't know. BTC back above 115,500. Good news, everybody. Nice little green candle starting to form here on the 4-hour chart. We're going to keep a close eye on this as to what the daily close looks like. Here's the hourly chart. Since your boy went live, BTC is printing pretty well to the upside. So, yeah, good news. Hope everyone is in BTCS. Got out. Devs keep selling and crashing the price. What is? I don't even know what BTCS is. RPM was available on decent app. Didn't see anything on mine. Don't know what that means. Don't know what that means. 3.1 billion is too high unless you bought real early. Oh, on Tau. Yeah, I could see that. And again, that's the point, isn't it? It's like, well, if you want something a little bit more speculative, you obviously increase the level of risk. But again, could be where it is. Long or short? I mean, I could make a joke here, but I'm not going to. Where do I think the market's going to go right now? I think we'll see a little bit of sideways trending. I could see us pushing down a little bit further. I could see a retest maybe of 115. However, we did hit the 115,500, which if you're in the premium Discord server, we hold that perfectly. Then you might argue we get a bounce. Here's the question you ask yourself. What is the catalyst that's going to push the market up over the course of the next 48 hours? There isn't going to be ETFs. We saw that, and we didn't see ETFs today. So markets kind of go, maybe I'm a little bit uncomfortable. So I think we may have to wait till Monday. So I think for me, if we can get through the weekend at a relatively stable price point, then, you know, I'm not too worried. If we were to come down a little bit further and maybe retest the 114.8, 115 range, that wouldn't be out of my, that wouldn't be out of the realms of possibility. So yeah, long on Sunday. Yeah, I mean, we could open in. Don't forget, there's not a lot coming in next week that would sort of play out in a favorable, that would say, well, this is kind of what we can look forward to kind of come out the other side of it, because it's a pretty boring week. We touched on this before. You've got a little bit of data coming out, but nothing I think worthwhile. So nothing on Monday. Tuesday is pretty boring. In fact, I'll show it here so you guys can see it. Weirdly, Powell is speaking on Tuesday, but I don't know what for. What is that for? We missed that. How have we missed that? What is that for? Federal Reserve cut the federal... man, that could have been a risk, couldn't it? That Timu could have come up. Okay, I don't know what he's talking about. I have no idea what he's talking about. So anyway, but apparently he's talking on Tuesday. Don't know why. Wednesday, nothing a lot going on Wednesday. Thursday, similar. Oh, no, Thursday, actually. Core PCE. Could be pretty interesting, I guess. PCE could be interesting on Thursday and Friday, maybe. Yeah, I guess Thursday and Friday might be tasty. We'll see. We'll see what that looks like. What's the expectation? Previous 3.5. Okay, so they're expecting consensus at 2.5. Expectation at 2.5 as well. PCE month over month at 0.2. Previous 0.3. So they're expecting a tick up on PCE. I don't think that would be crazy, by the way. 2.8 forecast, previous 2.6. So yeah, they are expecting a tick up on PCE. Is it going to be the end of the world? Maybe not. Maybe not. Might be a little bit tasty, but we'll see. I had a text this morning saying, oh, car park 5 from yesterday. Considering I haven't driven my car this week, it might be a scam. Yeah, it probably is. To bit RPM was telling you earlier, you can stake XRP on Decent Wallet. All right. Nice. Why can't I see RPM's? I can't see his name. We're all going at 0. Get out of here, Robbie Joe. Holmes says, Pete, I had a letter about one, was actually legit looking at, yeah. Got to read the small print, baby. John Shaw, you should get royalties from Timu. Yeah. Timu, what? Get out of here, Timu. Anyway. Not going to bother checking my wallet. Weekend's always quiet. Yeah, I mean, that's true as well. That's true. I thought rate cuts would drop the dollar. So there was the rate cuts were fine. That was okay. But you also had a little bit of recession fears. But don't forget, the federal balance sheet, they continue to sell off their securities. Okay, why would you do that? Because you're trying to cut the amount of spending that you have. Mortgage rates expectation went up a little bit. That doesn't help people. So although you get a Fed rate cut, if your mortgage rate goes up, it's a bit like, that's not ideal. So again, that's kind of where we got to. So what you ended up with, and this is kind of why Stephen Miram was talking about the fact they should have gone 50 basis points, because markets priced in the 25 basis points cut, but didn't support anything in terms of the reduction to consumer spending, right? So again, when we looked at it, consumer spending is slowing down. That's not how you get a thriving economy. You want spending to be up. That's where, that's where in theory, you should get support by cutting rates, because people should go and spend more. People aren't spending more because their actual just core standard fees they've got to pay is because obviously they've got to spend it on more stuff, basically, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. Good. Is there breaking news? What's Trump signing? Is there? Breaking news? What's Trump signing? I thought he was on Air Force One. I thought he was flying back from the UK. President Trump signs executive orders in the Oval Office. Okay, we can listen into this. Ricky one time. 1 second. Let's do this. Okay. Oh, God, that's awful.
They want transgender for everybody.
Sounds like some sort of alien robot that's taken over.
Things that they want that are proven so badly. They want to close their government down. We're not going to let bad things happen to our country. We're not going to approve things that we shouldn't be approving. Just today, the House Democrats voted against condemning the political assassination of Charlie Kirk. Who could vote against that? Condemning all this, please condemn the assassination of a human being. And they said, no, we're not going to do that. Remember this, we had an election a very short time ago. Republicans won presidential. We won the popular vote by a lot. We won all 7 swing states. We won the Electoral College by a lot. We won most U.S. counties in a total landslide. So we won most. It's a very big statistic. We won the counties in a number that I don't believe has been hit before. 2,600 counties versus 525 counties for the Democrats. So the Democrats really should start respecting what takes place at the voter booth. In many cases, it's not a voter booth because they have mail-in voting, which is a very corrupt situation. But despite that, we won in a landslide. Mail-in voting, which is a very corrupt situation. But despite that, we won in a landslide. And we have to remember, when you win the election, elections have consequences. So we'll continue to talk to the Democrats, but I think you could very well end up with a closed country for a period of time. And we'll take care of the military, we'll take care of social
There we go. I don't think it's any, yeah, I got it, Curtis. I don't think there's anything really too crazy about it. So yeah, there's some crazy conspiracies. So yeah, I don't necessarily think it's anything worth noting too much. Again, we'll let you know. I asked to turn off Trump, not your mic too. Sorry. Hello. Is it me you're looking for? No, it's Tim Shay. Good. Oh, geez, I'm feeling sick. Turn it off, please. Sorry, Vincent. Breaking the US Senate just confirmed a whopping 48 President Trump nominees all at once, 51-47. Is that true, Obi Joe? Don't know. Still can't hear you. That's not true, Obi Joe. I can literally see it. There's a meter up there that I can see it. Anyway. Good. Thought my phone went dodgy there. Sorry, John. Sorry about that. Okay, good. Right. Well, let's keep an eye on what's going on in the BTC market. If you've got any coins you want to take a look at, we've got about 10-15 minutes left of the stream, and then we're out. Saturdays are a day off. Look out for some content coming out later on, though. As always, get bullish on the content. Massively helps out. If you guys are interacting with it, dropping a little like, dropping a little comment, doing all that kind of good stuff, it massively helps out. And equal on TikTok as well. If you see a video, watch it, give it a little tap. That'd be great, by the way. It does massively help out. So we obviously appreciate you guys for all of that. So, you know, I guess, look, what are we hoping for? We want to see Bitcoin push a little bit further. I want to see it rally. That Japan news will keep close to it. I don't think it's the biggest deal in the world. Let's just kind of leave it at that, really. Outside of that, there hasn't really been anything going on. Markets are pretty quiet. Open interest is relatively boring. I think probably what's worth looking at would be a little bit of liquidation data that you could go into. So, for example, we got $280 million in longs getting liquidated today. Oh, yeah, it's fine. It's not the end of the world. Shorts around $42 million. How does that then stack up, though, for the weekend? It's probably worthwhile thinking about this as we walk through the next 3 days. Well, and you can have a look at this TikTok because it's kind of interesting. You can see once again, we're wiping out some downside liquidity. Not a lot to the upside. So again, this reversal could come in pretty quickly, in fairness. If it does, we'll have to wait and see. Generally speaking, though, we see open interest being relatively quiet. You can see here, look, CME, Bitcoin exchange interest. So remember, if you haven't seen my video that I talked about earlier on, open interest is the culmination or the accumulation of people looking to take positions. It doesn't matter about whether it's long, short, it's just who is looking to try and get in it. The more money you see coming into it generally is seen as an optimistic sign, or that there is demand to trade the market. Less you go, well, okay, it's a little bit boring, but that kind of gives you a bit of a view as to where that looks and kind of how that plays through. You got the aggregated order book. Again, we can see here that there's a lot of demand on the longs, and equally lots of people looking to buy in at the upside. You can see where the price sits on there. So, you know, worthwhile noting. Oh, we did that one, sorry. And yeah, and then open interest again. You can see here that we are actually spiking a little bit in open interest. Again, people are wanting to get into the market. Worth noting here as well, by the way, that we have the M2. This will play out a little bit more interestingly over the course of next week. So worth keeping close to how this is playing out. Although it's been super weird. Why is it? Oh, I think, is it because it was on why is that being super weird? What is going on, M2? Let me refresh this. Fun fact, Canada is about to launch a stablecoin. What about UK? It would be nice to have a coin where your face on it 2-bit. Do you reckon, yeah? The 2-bit coin. You can actually get 2-bit coins. Look at this. Obi Joe's got one. That's actually a 2-bit coin. As well as, you know, Craig and the rest of the guys. Curtis has got one. 37's got one. By the way, the longer you're here, the better the color, baby. Let me tell you that. So if you want to get a coin, then just become a channel member. Again, worth it, in my opinion. Curtis got one. Yeah, bullish on you, Curtis. There we go. This is what I want. So you can see here, look, on the M2 global liquidity, we continue to see an uptrend. So although, yes, we're seeing a little bit of a sell-off, which could align perfectly to this little dipperino, then, you know, in theory, we should see a little bit of a push before maybe a sell-off. This is where I'm looking at. Again, these kind of early parts of October could play out very, very favorably as we start to look as to where that's going to go. So again, you can see here just how the Bitcoin price is playing out, again, aligned to that M2 liquidity that we have on here as well. So keep close to that one. And then, like we said, the EMAs. And again, this is an important point here, by the way. I haven't really touched on, but we're still bullish on the EMAs and we're still bullish here on the RSI MACD. So although we've sold off a little bit, it's fine. What happens to the coin the longer we go? So you start off, and I don't know if you've noticed this, by the way, Obi Joe, but that is a bronze coin. You then get a silver coin, a gold coin, diamond coin, ruby coin, titanium coin, coin. You just get cooler coins along your ear. So there you go. There you go. Oh, is it that what the coin is? It's a 2-bit coin. My glasses weren't strong enough to see exactly what it was. Yeah, it's a 2-bit coin. Literally, it is a 2-bit coin. It's exciting, isn't it? I think it's exciting anyway. Welcome back. I forgot you guys were looking at the screen. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's basically a 2-bit coin, which is good news. So they start off at a bronze and they work all their way up to, you know, other coins. So for example, I can show you the coin. Here it is. Look, there it is. This is what you all have. This is the 2-bit coin. Pretty exciting, I'm sure. And then if you're a little bit longer look, you get the silver version. Oh, bullish. And then, you know, as you kind of hear a little bit longer still, you get the gold one, the diamond 2-bit coin. I mean, yeah, bullish. And don't forget, by the way, if you are a channel member, you get the Caroline emoji that you can use as well. Does it go monthly? Yes, OBJ it does. Not every month. I think it goes to 6 months and it starts to go on. But you get that, and then obviously you get the tinfoil hat emoji as well. If anyone wants to put one out there, look, there's a tinfoil hat emoji. Bullish. All the more reason to become a channel member, in my opinion. You could use a poll behind you for Caroline. I mean, that's true. October is going to be crazy, I hope. Yeah, what's your top coin? As in, what is the coin I hope that hold the most of? Or what do I think has got the best opportunity in September? Give me something to work with. Give me something to work with. There you go. Look, there's the OBJ. Love it. Love it. The more channel members we get, by the way, we can get more emojis as well. But yeah, my top coin right now is, as in what do I hold the most of, which I think last time I checked was about $600, is Ethereum. So I think ETH, but XRP's up there. XRP was crossing over a little bit. I like the emoji with the beard, or is it? No. It's a tinfoil hat. The tinfoil hat emoji. What's going on, Fairground? Again. But yeah, it flips between Ethereum and XRP based on obviously price action. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I think they both do pretty well. Equally, though, I do think there are definitely some coins undervalued. AVAX I talked about, HBAR, again, Ondo. I mean, if Ondo drops below $1, I would definitely be inclined to look at that as a potential. It's coming down to retest the 20-day exponential moving average at just a buck. If you were looking to maybe even take a long trade on that, that could go from 98 cents. I think we put it in the trade signal call, by the way. I think that was one to watch, as was the AVAX move as well. So we literally we called this exact move to this price range perfectly. I mean, get out of here. That's absolutely fantastic. And then, yeah, some other coins in there as well. I generally thought World of Bit Financial was going to do some well. I mean, it's probably one of the better performing ones right now, but yeah. HBAR to the moon. Yeah, I mean, HBAR could present itself with an opportunity. Again, you are still bullish, albeit we'll see what HBAR does. A bounce off 23.7 might be interesting. It equally could play out as a very interesting long trade. Potentially. I think am I still in a long trade? I think I am, actually. Let me just take a look. Oh, man, it's going to be like super annoying, isn't it? Where I have to like sign in. Oh, I can't be bothered. I literally can't be bothered. But I think I'm still in, weirdly, I think I'm still in a long trade. Chili's. Oh, we looked at Chili's yesterday, Fairground. Yeah, we looked at it. It's definitely needs some upside momentum, I think. Needs a little bit of a push, in my opinion. But, I mean, look, you never know. When the football comes, it might go crazy. But, yeah, it definitely needs a little bit. What is dungarees? You know what dungarees are? Dungarees are wild. I can't believe Craig brought it up, in fairness. It's even weirder. Even weirder. Time to buy it. I mean, that could be true. That could be true. Right. Anyway, we're watching BTC. If we can see BTC back above 115.6, 115.7, then, you know, that would play out aligned to maybe what we want the markets to do, which would be good. No dramas, geez. Dungarees, they're like, it's like an adult onesie. If you imagine that, like, loads of the arms are being cut off. That you'll know it. You'll definitely know what dungarees are. They're generally what like kids wear. I'm just gonna get you a picture. It's just easier. Let me just get you a picture. Can't believe I'm showing dungarees on the channel. Anyway, right, they're dungarees. Oh, they're dungarees. Look, so these like weird little like clip things that come in at the top, and then you have no arms in it. Like what would you call them? Like farmer outfits? Maybe that's what we would call them. Like farmer outfits. Outfits. Yeah, I think the US, they call them a work overall. Is that true? Yeah, apparently so, Cheese. I mean, I can be dead honest. I don't own a single pair, but yeah, apparently they do. So yeah. Oh, the 25-year-old who had no idea what a fax machine is, mate. No one even knows what dial-up internet is nowadays. Imagine that. Imagine when you couldn't go on the internet if someone was on the phone. If only at that point you'd have been looking at Bitcoin. Imagine that. Always unclipped dungarees when you got... Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Fairground knows what's up. That's speaking from definite problems, isn't it? That is definitely speaking from experience, in my opinion. Anyway, everybody, right. We are getting to the end of the show. We've been live for an hour and 5 minutes. Don't forget, I won't be here tomorrow, albeit I am obviously with a TikTok agency that want me to do a live stream earlier. So I might do a little live stream. I don't know if you guys saw, but I did one before when I was walking the dog. And it was super fun. So I might do a TikTok live earlier in the day. Maybe. I don't know if they're worthwhile me doing in like the car. Not driving, by the way, because that'd be crazy. But I might do something on TikTok. Maybe. I know Vern wants to do something, so we'll see. The key says evening from West Yorkshire. What's going on, Paul? Good to see it. So yeah, look out for that. Again, the only way you're going to know that is by following me on social media or being in our Discord or simply clicking that follow button on TikTok. That way you know if I go live. Why? Because my little profile picture will go pink. Way. When is XRP going to hit $100? Well, I have heard on the 17th of November, 2026 is what I've heard, but I don't know how true that is. I mean, the honest answer to the key is no idea. No idea, but let's hope that it's sooner rather than later. Cheers to a big great show as always. Have a great weekend. Cheers. Yeah, thanks, John. Appreciate it, man. Maybe take 5 minutes to rewatch your Bitcoin Solaris video. Okay. I thought that was doing all right. I thought I saw some news about that. Is it not? Is it? What's wrong with it? Let's have a look. I'm gonna have a look at that now. Bitcoin Solaris launched a month ago, right? Oh, BTCS, $7 million market cap. Who's crypto? What's going on, pal? Good to see you, man. Is it this one? Yeah, BTCS. I thought they. That's not the right chart. I thought they'd done something with this. Why am I just making that up? Ah, shit. The dev keeps right. Okay, sorry. Right, yeah, that's not great. That's not great. I mean, I can't do anything about the dev selling, but why do they keep selling? Ordinals. Is it not? Oh, is that on there? BTCS. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. That is actually kind of annoying. Why do they keep selling it? Is there any reason? I thought I'd seen something about it, though. I thought I'd seen that they was actually doing okay. One more hit the Light Legends. Let's do it. But no, I definitely remember doing the video. I mean, understand that. I mean, that was probably about 200 videos ago, but I definitely remember doing the video. Of course I do. It was in pre-sale, though, when I did the video. But I thought I'd seen something about it. Big news. Bitcoin's last week dropping the length of medium article. Okay. Stake your BTS treatment. Okay. How do you feel about NPC token? I don't know what it is. No idea. No idea, if I'm honest. I mean, I've just... The pre-sale bit, like I've always said, generally speaking, pre-sales are a challenge, which I think is where whatever you want to invest in a pre-sale, again, you got to pull the trigger and make sure you do, you know, that's on you. But, yeah. BTCS subject to... Yeah, we can definitely... Vincent, I can definitely look into that for sure. I mean... I'm just looking at their social media posts now. They haven't posted a lot. It's available on L-Banks. It's on L-Bank. I wonder why they keep selling. They last posted 16 hours ago. Bitcoin wrote history. Solaris is writing the sequel. I'll have a look at it. Like I said, I'm not working. I'm not on it tomorrow night. So I'll have a look. And then if there's anything I think is worthwhile, then I can reach out. Again, I can reach out to the dev. I did have the other project, by the way, and I can't remember who was asking me about it, but we'll see. BlackRock, JP Morgan are quietly accumulating XRP. Well, I mean, a lot of people have speculated that's true. So... hopefully that's true. Yeah, mate. See you in fairs in town next week. I'll be down there. Let's get it. Can you check KiloX token? Okay, last one, and then I'm getting out of here. Kilo. Okay. Oh, here we go. Down 8%. 6 million market cap. Volume looks terrible. The chart looks even worse. Yep. Wouldn't touch that one. Enjoyed it. Glad you made it over the channel. Have a good night. Always Griff Nash. Thank you so much, buddy. Yeah, FYI, that's what that chart looks like. I'm not sure I would touch that personally, so yeah. Trading is live in Jupiter. Anyways, thanks. Take care. Vincent, as always, man. Appreciate you. Right, everybody. I am getting out of here. Don't forget the like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, drop me a follow on TikTok if you want to stay up to date with all the latest. And if you haven't already, do join our totally free Discord, available in the description or on my bio. Again, you can get in there and chat with the community, etc. I'll be hanging around the Discord in about half an hour's time. And so, yeah, back Sunday night as always. Look out for a potential pop-up stream on TikTok. Until next time, thank you all so much for watching. And yeah, have a good day. Catch you on Sunday. Take care.